me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm Julene Gervais. Thank you so much for joining us. This is show number 10 in our All-Star series, which means we've brought you 20 companies. They are all inspiring, innovating, and they have what it takes. Tonight, we're going to meet two entrepreneurs, one who's improving the healthcare experience, and the other who will solve all your sales tax woes. And nobody wants to be in trouble with the IRS. Stick around and you'll find out who advances to the next round for the cash. First, we're going to say hello to our expert judges in the tech world. We'd like to welcome Tanya Bollier from the University of Maine. Hi, Tanya. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the program. So I'm Tanya Bollier. I'm an assistant professor at the Maine Business School. I have a background in software development, and I'm just really excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Next up is Nick Rimza from Tortoise Labs. Hi, Nick.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me too. My name's Nick Rimza. I'm a product designer at Tortoise Labs. I've been a product designer for 7 years, and I'm also thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
And finally, welcome back Veena Dinesh from the Foster Center for Innovation. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me too. I'm thrilled to hear, the great ideas today. I am the Director for Business Incubation at the Office of Innovation and Economic Development at UMaine, and I help students, faculty, staff bring their ideas to market and also help with entrepreneurs in the community do the same.
And they always bring it for our college series. All right, we're going to check back with you in just a minute. It's time for our first pitch. Have you ever sat around the ER wondering what is going on back there? Well, we have an ER doc that's going to solve all your problems. Let's have a look at Dr. Haidar.
Okay, well, hello, Greenlight Maine. Thank you for this opportunity. A lot has changed in emergency medicine over the past year, and a lot has changed for NavigatER LLC as well. Care has gotten more complex, and certainly the patient experience as a result has suffered. My name is Samir Haidar. I am the co-founder and chief medical officer of NavigatER LLC. I'm also an emergency physician with over 10 years of clinical experience at Maine's only academic level 1 trauma center. NavigatER is a patient-facing mobile application that is designed to improve the patient experience while they receive care in the emergency department. It does this by engaging patients, by informing them and keeping them updated throughout their emergency department stay. Now, because of COVID, the clinical implementation that we had planned for this past spring was put on hold. However, during that time, we've been able to finalize our partnerships with our technology partner, which has allowed us to further develop and power the NavigatER application on a high-trust, HIPAA-compliant platform. It has also allowed us to finalize our agreement with Maine Health, the largest health system in the state. This agreement allows us not only to implement the NavigatER application at Maine Medical Center's emergency department, but also to scale to 3 other emergency departments within the system. It also gives us access to nurses and residents and medical students who have all participated as frontline providers in the development of this application. From a return on investment standpoint, it's really simple for hospitals. For one, patients don't have to pay anything for the NavigatER experience, and hospitals pay a nominal fee based off of the volume of the emergency department. As if improving the patient experience is not enough, NavigatER also addresses key federal reimbursement issues. Every hospital is subject to a 2% withhold. 25% of that is based solely off of patient experience metrics. NavigatER targets those metrics. For an emergency department that sees 50,000 patients a year, up to $500,000 can be withheld. NavigatER costs much less than this. Now, COVID has also provided NavigatER with a bunch of different opportunities, because the truth is, care right now is dependent on a good digital health footprint for any healthcare system. NavigatER is also filling that gap and providing patients with an opportunity to communicate not only with their families that currently is limited because of COVID, but also with their medical providers. I'm anxious to tell you more about NavigatER LLC and the advances we've been able to make. Thank you again for the opportunity. We look forward to hearing from you.
Outstanding pitch, Dr. Haidar. I remember last time you were on, you said that you wanted to solve a problem, and you definitely are doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, let's kick off the questions with Tanya.
Great. I really like this idea. I myself have been waiting in an emergency room wondering what the heck is going on. So I definitely see a need for this product. You know, one of the things that you talked about is producing sort of helpful information for people as they're waiting. And I'm wondering, how much content are you going to need to produce? And are you going to be self-producing it, or where are you going to, how are you going to make all of these videos?
Absolutely. You know, the content is actually really easy to produce. We have a video software that makes it quite simple. And it's actually been fun because we brought in frontline providers such as medical students who've actually done a lot of the videos that we've developed. And they're literally 30 seconds each. So what we want to do is capture the attention of the patient and not bore them, and keep them engaged and teach them something in that time period. So it's been a bit of a challenge for my residents, medical students. They've all kind of participated in this process. Going forward, we'll probably have to be a little bit more regimented about it. But right now, the product that we're creating is really from the front line and very creative and engaging.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Next question, Nick.
Hello, Samir. I think that this is an awesome idea myself. You mentioned during the pitch that you have a technology team lined up, you're building with, you've had some success with. I would love to know a little bit more about who they are and what proof you have that they'll be able to scale this product effectively.
Absolutely. I think really that's been one of the best parts of this venture is when I found my partner. Cleexa is a digital health company in Colorado. They have 8 different products. They're mostly a chronic health management platform. And when we found each other, they realized the importance of kind of a frontline acute care platform. And what they were able to do is build the NavigatER platform on their high trust chronic health management platform. So what we've developed is a product that can engage patients while they're in the emergency department and then connect to them as they leave the emergency department. So what I've been able to witness is this team in Colorado interfacing with the computer analytic folks at Maine Health and develop a platform and a database and connect it. Right now, they have 2 of their back-end developers actually live in Turkey. So I've been on calls with Turkey, Colorado, and Maine, connecting and doing this database in real time. I can make something happen in Epic for the patient, order a test. It goes to the database, it goes to Colorado and to Turkey and back to my phone in 2 seconds. And I've kind of seen this in real time, so I have total faith. And the other part of it is they have equity in the company. So they have skin in the game, and they're as much engaged as I am.
Good answer. Okay, Veena.
Great pitch, Samir. Could you tell me a little bit about the competition out there? Are there other ER patient experience apps? And if there are, what is your unique competitive advantage? Are you building any IP out of this?
Absolutely. So we do have some competitors now. When I started the process 3 years ago, we didn't. We were the first on the market, but 2 companies have come out as stealth. I wasn't really sure what that was until I read about it. They are both fairly well funded. The biggest one comes out of Australia, and they have a big VC firm behind them. And the other is a bot-based technology, which is similar, but it's bot-based, and it's in Cerner, a different electronic medical record. We do have IP. We've built predictive analytics, patient engagement software that really drives the functionality. The system can adapt to patient experiences. If they're in the hallway, it reacts different than if they're in a room. And if the patient has a short wait, it acts different than if they have a long wait. So we definitely have some IP, but we have competitors, and I think that's just validation. So that's where we are.
Awesome. Well, thank you all judges. Great answers, Dr. Haidar, and you are one of the first in class. So good for you. We are so happy for you, and Maine Health is happy to have you, I'm sure. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our next pitch.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, if you want to innovate and if you want to grow, if you're an organization here in Maine, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Eaton Peabody, a Maine-based law firm serving generations of Maine businesses and families from offices in Augusta, Bangor, Brunswick, Ellsworth, and Portland.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Small businesses have a million things to do. The list can be daunting. And that's why Davo Sales Tax was created to help you with your sales tax woes. Let's watch David Joseph make his pitch.
Hello, Greenlight. I am David Joseph, co-founder of Davo Technologies, the developers of the Davo Automated Sales Tax Management System. You know, that time you went into Starbucks and you bought a $4 cup of coffee, but it really cost you $4.28? Well, that 28 cents was actually sales tax. But have you ever stopped to think what happened to that sales tax after you paid? Well, even though you paid the sales tax to Starbucks, the 28 cents actually belong to the state. You see, merchants have a legal obligation to collect sales tax, hold it harmless and secure, and then pay it to the state every month. The problem is many small businesses actually use their sales tax revenue to run their business. And then when it comes time to pay, they just don't have enough money set aside. This can have long-term consequences because they paid their sales tax late and they end up with huge fines and penalties. Of course, the Walmarts and Home Depots of the world don't have this problem because they have an army of accountants and bookkeepers to manage it for them. But small business owners don't have that luxury. And this is where Davo comes in. So Davo is an app similar to the ones you might have on your phone. But instead of downloading an app to your phone, merchants download the Davo Sales Tax app to their cash register. This enables Davo to see their sales transactions all day long and determine exactly how much sales tax the merchant collects. Remember the $4.28? This is what Davo sees: a $4 sale and 28 cents of tax. Every day, Davo totals up the amount of sales tax the merchant collects, and we transfer it from the merchant's bank account to Davo's tax holding account. Then when their sales tax is due every month, we file and pay it for them on time and in full, guaranteed. Sort of the way your mortgage company collects your property taxes as part of your mortgage and then pays it for you. Could you imagine if you had to pay your property taxes a couple of times a year? For decades, merchants have used expensive accountants and bookkeepers to inefficiently manage their sales tax for them. Davo is sales tax on autopilot, guaranteeing that the taxes are filed and paid on time and in full. A few years ago, when Davo was here pitching Greenlight, we were about to reach a milestone of 1,000 customers. Well, since then, Davo has grown exponentially to many thousands of customers in all the states that have a sales tax. We've even continued growing through COVID. Remember that 28 cents? Well, those pennies add up. Last year, Davo collected and paid to states over $60 million in sales tax. That is a lot of coffee. As Davo grows, we are dedicated and focused on building a world-class organization right here in Maine. And we would love nothing more than for Greenlight to be part of our success story.
And David, we want nothing more to be part of your success story too. So congratulations on all you've accomplished so far.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya, take us away.
Well, great. Really interesting system. Definitely can see where there could be a need for this. You've been in business for a while. What do you plan to do with the money?
The money from Greenlight would be used for continuing our customer acquisition. Right now, growth is our single focus, and the most important thing to us right now is to continue to grow the company and grow customer acquisition.
Nick.
Hey there. Awesome to learn a little bit more about your company. So you've done a lot in transactions. Your business is growing really, really fast. You mentioned at the end of your pitch that you're excited to stay in Maine, but I would imagine that you have reason to go elsewhere. So why are you incentivized to stay here in Maine and grow your business?
Well, first of all, we love Maine, number one. I travel all over the US, and every time I come back to Maine, it's like, wow, it's just great to be back here, number one. Number two, when we were on Greenlight last time, we had 6 employees, 3 in Maine and 3 remote, both in the US and international. Currently, we have 20 employees, all working in Maine. We have an office in Westbrook that we love. And we are dedicated to hiring C-level people and creating really great jobs here in Maine. And this is another part of our focus of building our business here in Maine.
Creating jobs, that's what we'd like to hear. Veena.
Hi, great pitch. I love the coffee shop analogy. You got me there with the $4 for the coffee and 28 cents for the tax. I really get what you're trying to do here. I wanted to understand a little bit more about your business model. Like, how do you, how is a business incentivized to work with Davos?
Well, you have to understand sales tax is not something that a business gains any benefit from. This is really a chore for them. It's not like paying rent where you end up at the end of the day with a location to run your business. And so this is one of those pain points that owning a business, it is difficult. And it's something at the end of the day, it does not contribute to the bottom line of your business. And therefore you should do this as cheaply and efficiently as possible. And this is the alternative that we actually offer merchants. And that if you look at the reviews, and what people say about our business, we truly make their lives better. We've actually had merchants who tell us this is actually life-changing for them.
How is it based on number of transactions, or do you take a percentage of the transfer amount? Like, what's the,
No, we don't touch the transactions. Our service is a flat fee of $40 a month. We do not take a percentage of the tax that we collect. That's would be a different process, but we charge a flat fee based on per customer, per location.
Excellent. We need to take a quick break, but there's a lot more Greenlight Maine coming up next, so don't go away.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to hear what our judges think of these 2 companies. Veena, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, they were such great pitches. It's kind of difficult to compare them because one's already in the market, they've gotten a proven customer base, and it's definitely solving a problem for small businesses and improve efficiencies in their systems. But on the other hand, with this COVID cloud hanging over us, if the NavigatER app does come out, it really truly does solve so many problems for patients and the ER. We all know how swamped they are, and if they're able to provide any sort of customer service, that would be great. So it's kind of difficult from that sense. Like, you can see the impact of what one could do, whereas one's already doing it.
Absolutely. Both solving a problem. Okay, Nick.
I agree too. I think my primary concern thinking about NavigatER is the friction for people in the emergency room to start. I think, echoing Veena's point, I do think that Davo has established who their customer is. They know exactly how to get in front of them, and they know exactly how to get them to pay them. And I do agree that the impact that NavigatER potentially has is significant, but I'm curious about how they're going to make money, and that money ultimately coming from patient activity on the app itself.
Yeah, I mean, you folks get to spend a lot of time with these companies off camera. So you had a good discussion with Dr. Haidar about that. And I think that's one of the obstacles that he's working on. Of course, not every patient, this is not going to be for every patient. Not every patient's tech savvy, right?
True.
Okay, Tanya.
Yeah, I think, again, both of them great pitches, but not only are they at different stages, they're also solving different kinds of problems as well. I mean, the sales tax, yes, it's inconvenient, but it's not a particularly hard problem to sell or to solve. Whereas, you know, this ER, I think it's a much more complex problem, but I think the longer term impacts are great. I mean, if this is something that can be successful, I think it'll really transform some of that experience of being in an emergency room and transform it in a really good way. So it's
no
going to be a
doubt.
hard decision.
I mean, everybody wants more communication, especially family members, especially now during this pandemic. So, I mean, there's definitely a place in the market for Dr. Haidar. Okay, just real quick closing comments. If you had to see one of them come back for the finals, what would you like to see? Lena.
I think going back to Nick's point about how are they going to incentivize patients, a little bit more clarity into their process, and also learn a little bit more about the team. Like, we know there's the clinical expertise, but what about the rest of the team about marketing and scaling this beyond Maine? Would love to know more about that.
Nice. Nick.
I'd like to echo Vina's point again. I'd love to know their future plans. I'd love to know where NavigatER is heading. And I'd also love to know where Davo is heading. You know, that we got to hear a little bit about their future, but I would love to learn more.
Great. And Tanya.
Yeah, and I think from NavigatER, it sounds like they are close to actually implementing this. I'd like to hear, how has it gone? How have they dealt with challenges that they faced? And are there projections that they hope coming to fruition?
Great. Yep. He's got Maine Health on board, 1 ER, 3 more on the way. So yeah, 2 excellent companies. So thank you all so much for your discussion. We need to take a quick break. We'll come back and have our winner. Don't go away.
Handwritten thank you notes might be the most important tool in a business owner's toolkit. It is really important to thank people who helped you along the way, and writing a note that you send in the mail is the most memorable way to show your appreciation. The person who receives your note is likely to notice that you took the time to write the note, put it in an envelope with a stamp, and send it in the mail. It shows that you took the time to show your appreciation rather than just sending a text or an email. If you're applying for a job, you will differentiate yourself from other applicants by sending handwritten thank you notes. This is a way to stand out from the crowd. It's somewhat of a lost art, but I firmly believe that handwritten notes are one of the keys to success. Share your gratitude with others by taking the time to send a note in the mail.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Today's inspiring Mainer is the CEO of one of the most successful and popular brands of all time. Welcome, Steve Smith from LL Bean.
Thanks for having me, Jolene. Appreciate it.
So good to see you. It's been quite a year for everybody. People, businesses, pivot and change. Talk about what LL Bean has been through.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year, and pivot and change are great expressions. You know, on March 16th, when we decided to go full work at home, when COVID was clearly here, we focused immediately on the health and safety and wellness of our employees, closing stores, creating physical distancing, social distancing, and then moving to a full work at home environment. And really focused on business continuity, which is the long-term health of the business, to make sure we could survive the year, because it was such an unknown. And then really amazingly, as the year progressed, we found ourselves just clicking in directly with the overall sort of American psyche. And our purpose was never more relevant to what people needed. And, we talk all about the restorative power of being outside, and we saw our product line enabled outdoor connections and people getting outdoors, as well as having comfort indoors. And it's turned out to be a really remarkable year for us.
LL Bean has been so supportive of entrepreneurs, especially in Maine. So what advice could you give the companies that come on the show?
Yeah, I mean, first, I've never been an entrepreneur, so I have a huge amount of respect and appreciation for folks who go off and do things on their own. So it's just amazing to me. I'd probably start just as a marketer. I would start with be really clear on what your idea is, what your business is, what is the truly differentiating component of that business, and know your customer, know exactly who your target customer is, and just focus maniacally on the product differentiation and the customer you're trying to reach. And I would say secondarily, just in Maine, build a network. And so many people are here to help and here to help small businesses survive and thrive. And I think that network can be incredibly helpful. You never know where your next business connection, sale, idea, growth opportunity could come from.
That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to LL Bean, because LL Bean was one of the founding partners of Greenlight Maine 6 years ago, and we have not forgotten that. So thank you for all you do, your team, and LL Bean as a whole for Maine and beyond.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Take care. And we'll be right back with today's winner right after this break. Don't go away.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We saw two high-tech companies, NavigatER and Davo Sales Tax, but it's time to find out who's moving on in the competition. Judges, I'm going to count you down from 3. 3, 2, 1. And that means NavigatER LLC is moving on in the competition. Congratulations, Dr. Haidar. How does it feel?
That's great. Thank you so much.
That's it for us tonight. We appreciate your comments, and we have a lot of resources online, so please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can see all of the episodes on greenlightmaine.com. We'll see you right back here next time. Have a great evening. Take care.